13 Ways to Recognize Envy and Falsehood in Others. Powerful Denzel Washington Motivation, Stoicism. Recognize what is in front of you, and you can find peace within. Marcus Aurelius. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life, where we delve into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to help you unlock personal growth and happiness. Have you ever been surrounded by people who seemed friendly, but left you feeling uneasy? Or perhaps you've received praise that didn't quite sit right with you? These are the subtle signs of envy and falsehood creeping into our lives. Today, we'll explore 13 ways to identify these hidden forces in your relationships and how to navigate them with grace. By becoming more aware of these dynamics, you can protect your inner peace, build stronger connections, and live with greater purpose. How have you dealt with envy or insincerity in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're ready to take control of your emotional well-being. Let's dive in together and start transforming your life with the power of Stoicism. Number 1. Insincere praise. Among the most subtle yet destructive forms of envy and falsehood is insincere praise, a deceptively pleasant mask that often hides underlying negativity. At first glance, this flattery might seem harmless, even complimentary, but closer scrutiny reveals its emptiness. Genuine admiration radiates warmth and sincerity, but insincere praise often comes with telling nonverbal cues. Someone may avoid eye contact, offer a half-hearted smile, or deliver compliments in a tone that feels rehearsed and devoid of enthusiasm. This discrepancy between words and actions betrays a lack of authenticity. For example, you might encounter individuals who publicly celebrate your success with grandiose statements, but fail to support you in meaningful, private ways, such as offering advice or encouragement during moments of doubt. Their absence during crucial times reveals their true feelings and motivations. Another hallmark of insincere praise is its tendency to disguise criticism. Backhanded compliments like, "You did great for someone in your situation," often carry an underlying message that minimizes your accomplishments. These remarks might seem well-meaning but leave you feeling undermined. Pay attention to behavioral inconsistencies. Someone who appears to champion your efforts in front of others may express indifference or even hostility when no one else is watching. This duality is one of the most striking features of false admiration. Even more damaging, some individuals may subtly plant doubts about your abilities or achievements, causing you to question your own worth. These actions, whether intentional or not, can erode your confidence over time if you allow them to. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, offers valuable guidance here. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This advice underscores the importance of remaining grounded in your character and refusing to mirror the negativity of others. When faced with insincere praise, resist the urge to react emotionally. Instead, take note of the behavior, adjust your expectations, and focus on your personal goals. Genuine relationships are built on consistency between words and actions. Let the superficiality of false praise remind you to place your trust in those who demonstrate authenticity through their deeds, rather than empty words. In today's world, where social interactions are increasingly shaped by digital platforms, the prevalence of insincere praise has reached new heights. On social media, individuals often offer fleeting likes, comments, or compliments while harboring jealousy or resentment behind the scenes. This phenomenon has created an environment where shallow validation is mistaken for true support. Recognizing this disparity is a key principle of modern Stoicism, which encourages us to cultivate inner strength and clarity in a society that often prioritizes appearances over substance. By grounding yourself in your values and striving for meaningful relationships, you can rise above the superficiality that surrounds you. Modern Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control how we respond. When confronted with false flattery, choose to prioritize your self-worth over external approval. Focus on your long-term goals and let the disingenuous words of others fall away like leaves in the wind. Ultimately, actions speak louder than words, and the authenticity of those around you will reveal itself over time. Stay resilient, trust in your character, and remember that true respect is earned through integrity and consistency. Number 2. Constant comparisons. Constant comparisons are a subtle but incredibly powerful form of manipulation, often stemming from envy and falsehood in those who engage in them. When someone frequently measures your success against others, it is rarely an innocent observation. Instead, it often serves as a veiled attempt to diminish your achievements and make you feel inadequate. This manipulation is designed to plant seeds of doubt, subtly implying that no matter how hard you work or how much you accomplish, someone else is always ahead of you. Such tactics often take the form of seemingly harmless comments like, "That's nice, but have you seen what so-and-so did?" Or, "You've done well, but others have achieved more." These remarks may seem casual, but they cleverly divert attention from your successes and erode your confidence, leaving you with the nagging feeling that your efforts are never enough. The damage caused by these comparisons doesn't stop at the surface. They can manifest through backhanded compliments that disguise themselves as praise but carry the weight of comparison. Imagine sharing your latest accomplishment, only to have the conversation pivot to someone else's success, effectively downplaying your effort. For example, someone might say, "That's a great achievement, but it reminds me of how so-and-so managed to do this even better." Over time, this reframing of your achievements can diminish your sense of self-worth, leaving you feeling overlooked and unappreciated. It isolates you emotionally, strains relationships, and creates an environment where you are more likely to question your value and doubt the decisions you've made in life. To resist this kind of manipulation, you must learn to recognize it for what it is and actively guard against it. Avoid engaging in these toxic dialogues, as they do little more than drain your emotional energy and distract you from your unique journey. The teachings of modern Stoicism offer profound wisdom in this regard, reminding us that our worth is not dictated by how we compare to others, but by the integrity of our character and the effort we put into our own lives. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully when he wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Instead of allowing external comparisons to shape your self-image, focus on nurturing a mindset rooted in self-respect and internal validation. In today's hyper-connected world, social media exacerbates the culture of constant comparisons. Every day we are bombarded with carefully curated images and narratives that often mask the imperfections and struggles behind the scenes. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your unfiltered reality with someone else's highlight reel. This is why it is more important than ever to ground yourself in self-awareness. Modern Stoicism emphasizes that fulfillment comes not from surpassing others, but from achieving inner peace and contentment through self-improvement. As Epictetus wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In this spirit, focus on redirecting your attention inward, where your true value resides. Recognize that your journey is yours alone and incomparable to anyone else's because every individual faces their own unique set of challenges and victories. Instead of competing with others, cultivate a mindset of growth and gratitude. Celebrate your progress and appreciate the achievements of others without letting their success diminish your own sense of accomplishment. This approach not only fosters healthier relationships, but also builds resilience and protects your peace of mind. The key to overcoming the negativity of constant comparisons is to realize that your worth is intrinsic and independent of any external measure. When you stop seeking validation from others and start focusing on being better than your former self, you step into a life of true fulfillment. By aligning yourself with the timeless principles of modern Stoicism, you gain the clarity to resist the corrosive influence of envy and focus instead on the path that brings you meaning and joy. Number 3. Unsolicited criticism. Unsolicited criticism often stems from envy or false intentions, hiding behind a mask of helpful advice or concern. It's the kind of feedback you never asked for, delivered in a way that subtly targets your insecurities or casts doubt on your abilities. These critics might say something like, "Are you sure you're ready for this?" It seems really risky, making their skepticism seem like genuine care. While their words might sound harmless, their true intent is often to plant seeds of doubt, causing you to second-guess your goals, dreams, and even your worth. Sometimes this criticism takes the form of protectiveness, as if the person is shielding you from potential failure. They may highlight pitfalls or risks, but not to guide you, rather, to undermine your confidence and weaken your resolve. This behavior is especially insidious when it comes from someone you trust or look up to, like a mentor, a close friend, or even a family member. It's not always easy to recognize their underlying motives, but doing so is crucial to protecting your vision and confidence. Let's take a modern example. Mia, a young entrepreneur, was eager to launch her startup combining sustainable fashion with innovative technology. Full of excitement, she shared her ideas with a senior colleague she deeply admired, hoping for support and encouragement. Instead, he responded with, "It's a nice idea, but do you really think you have the experience to pull this off? Maybe you should try something smaller first." At first, his words crushed her. She started doubting herself, questioning if she was overreaching or setting herself up for failure. But after some reflection, Mia realized that his comments didn't come from a place of genuine concern. They were rooted in his own insecurities. He had failed at a similar venture in the past and projected his fear onto her. Instead of letting his negativity derail her, Mia used it as motivation to prove him wrong. Today, her startup is flourishing, and she looks back on that moment as a reminder to discern between constructive criticism and disguised envy. So how do you protect yourself from this kind of criticism? Start by questioning the advice. Does it align with your values and goals, or does it create unnecessary doubt? True guidance has a unique quality. It challenges you in ways that promote growth, even if it's hard to hear. Constructive feedback leaves you feeling motivated to improve and better prepared to achieve your goals. On the other hand, envy-driven criticism feels heavy and draining, often leaving you unsure of yourself. Pay attention to how the advice makes you feel. Does it inspire clarity and direction, or does it make you feel smaller and less capable? If it feels manipulative or aimed at holding you back, it's time to tune it out. Trust your instincts. Your inner voice knows when something doesn't sit right. Here's the truth. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. People project their own fears, insecurities, and limitations onto others, often unintentionally. It's not your job to carry their baggage or let their doubts define your path. Stoicism offers powerful tools for handling these situations. The Stoic secrets to thriving amidst external noise lie in focusing on what you can control: your mindset, your actions, and your reactions. A Stoic remains calm, grounded, and unshaken by criticism, discerning the helpful from the harmful without losing sight of their purpose. Think about this. What could you accomplish if you stopped letting the opinions of others hold you back? What would your life look like if you trusted your abilities and followed through with your vision, regardless of who doubted you? You are the architect of your destiny, and your dreams don't need anyone else's permission to become reality. Criticism, whether valid or not, is inevitable, but it's your response to it that determines your path. Take what helps you grow, leave the rest behind, and remember, the only limits are the ones you accept. Trust yourself, embrace your unique journey, and keep moving forward with unwavering confidence and purpose. Your success is yours to define. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. Have you ever experienced insincere praise, constant comparisons, or unsolicited criticism in your own life? How did you handle it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below with one of these quick responses. I've experienced insincere praise. Constant comparisons are draining, or unsolicited criticism doesn't help. And remember, stick around until the end of the video. I've got 3 more powerful tips that are sure to surprise you and help you navigate even the most challenging relationships with confidence. Let's dive in. Number 4. Backhanded compliments. Backhanded compliments are a subtle yet sharp weapon often wielded by those harboring envy, resentment, or insecurity. On the surface, they appear as kind or supportive gestures, but beneath their thin veneer lies a deliberate attempt to undermine and belittle. Disguised as praise, they carry an implicit judgment meant to cast doubt on your abilities and accomplishments. For instance, a comment like, "You've done really well," for someone like you, may sound encouraging at first but carries a subtext that questions your worthiness or capability. Such remarks can feel insidious as they exploit the guise of politeness to plant seeds of self-doubt. Over time, these seemingly harmless words can grow into a pervasive feeling of inadequacy, eroding your confidence and making you second-guess the very achievements you've worked hard to attain. These comments are particularly damaging because they redirect the focus away from your success and toward the person's preconceived biases or judgments. The real harm of backhanded compliments lies in their ability to chip away at your self-esteem quietly and insidiously. These remarks often leave you feeling unsettled and uneasy, even if you can't immediately pinpoint why. They fail to acknowledge the effort, dedication, and perseverance behind your achievements and instead subtly diminish them. For example, a statement like, "It's impressive you achieved this despite everything," insinuates that your success is an anomaly rather than a reflection of your hard work or skill. This kind of praise can feel emotionally draining because it forces you to reconcile a contradiction, gratitude for the compliment versus the sting of its hidden critique. By framing their envy or prejudice as flattery, the person offering the compliment creates a dynamic where their approval seems conditional, further distancing you from authentic support or connection. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely observed, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight is particularly valuable when dealing with backhanded compliments. Rather than internalizing their negativity or allowing them to undermine your sense of self-worth, recognize these remarks for what they truly are: projections of the other person's insecurities or envy. Resist the urge to dwell on their hidden meanings, and instead, focus on the intrinsic value of your accomplishments. Your success is not defined by others' judgments or biases, but by the effort, resilience, and determination you invested in achieving it. By reframing these interactions as opportunities to strengthen your emotional resilience, you can transform the sting of backhanded compliments into a source of personal growth. In the modern world, where social interactions are increasingly mediated through digital platforms, understanding and navigating the dynamics of backhanded compliments is more relevant than ever. Social media, in particular, has become a breeding ground for this type of behavior. Comments like, "You look great for your age," or, "Wow, it's amazing you managed to do that with everything going on," are thinly veiled critiques, often disguised as encouragement. These remarks can amplify feelings of self-doubt, especially in a culture that often prioritizes appearances and validation over authenticity. This is where the principles of modern Stoicism become invaluable. By cultivating self-awareness and emotional detachment, you can learn to recognize the superficiality of such remarks and avoid letting them dictate your sense of self-worth. The practice of modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, our actions, intentions, and responses, while letting go of what lies beyond it, such as the opinions of others. When faced with backhanded compliments, remember that their judgments are more reflective of their character than yours. Your accomplishments, no matter how others attempt to frame them, remain valid and meaningful. Instead of seeking external validation, let your achievements speak for themselves and embrace them with quiet confidence. As the great Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let this strength guide you in recognizing your worth, independent of the subtle digs and disguised criticisms of others. By identifying and understanding the true nature of backhanded compliments, you empower yourself to rise above them. These moments can serve as reminders to stay rooted in your own values, trusting in the integrity of your efforts rather than the fickle approval of others. Remember, The judgment of others often reveals more about their insecurities than about your worth. In embracing this perspective, you reinforce your emotional resilience and free yourself from the need for external validation. Let your actions and character define you, and let modern Stoicism guide you toward inner peace, reminding you that true success is measured not by how others perceive you, but by how steadfastly you remain aligned with your purpose and principles. Number 5. Lack of enthusiasm. A lack of enthusiasm from those around you can be one of the clearest and most disheartening signs of envy or falsehood in a relationship. When you achieve something significant, whether it's a professional milestone, personal growth, or any accomplishment worth celebrating, and the response you receive is indifference or silence, it can feel deeply discouraging. This reaction is not always neutral. More often than not, it reflects a deeper discomfort or insecurity within the person withholding their support. Their inability to share in your joy signals that your success may challenge their own sense of self-worth or highlight areas where they feel inadequate. As Epictetus wisely observed, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. In this context, their indifference often stems from an unwillingness to face their own shortcomings in the light of your achievements. This lack of enthusiasm manifests in various subtle ways: the absence of verbal praise, the failure to acknowledge your milestones, or avoiding discussions about your wins altogether. Such individuals might even make passive or dismissive remarks that downplay your success or shift attention away from your progress. Perhaps they only engage when you're facing challenges or difficulties, eager to commiserate but conspicuously absent when things are going well. This behavior reveals a troubling pattern. They are more comfortable with your struggles than with your growth, because your triumphs may amplify their own insecurities. Their emotional distance during your moments of victory is a telling indicator that they are unwilling or unable to celebrate your success wholeheartedly. In some cases, this reluctance stems from deep-seated jealousy or a subtle hope that your success doesn't outshine their own. In navigating these relationships, it is crucial to focus on those who genuinely celebrate your progress and milestones. These are the people whose enthusiasm and support add value to your journey, reinforcing the idea that your success does not need to be validated by everyone. Modern Stoicism teaches us the importance of seeking inner validation rather than depending on external praise. Marcus Aurelius's words resonate here. Don't set your mind on things you don't possess as if they were yours, but count the blessings you actually have and think how much you would desire them if they weren't already yours. Celebrate your victories with those who uplift you, and don't let the indifference of others diminish your sense of accomplishment. In today's fast-paced, comparison-driven world, this dynamic is often amplified. Social media, for instance, can foster a culture where people observe your success but refrain from acknowledging it publicly, sometimes out of envy or competitiveness. However, your journey is not meant to be defined by likes, comments, or the approval of onlookers. Modern Stoicism encourages us to focus on our internal growth and the fulfillment that comes from pursuing our own goals with integrity. Your achievements are a reflection of your hard work and dedication, and they deserve to be celebrated, if not by others, then by yourself. Rather than dwelling on the lack of enthusiasm from certain individuals, redirect your energy toward maintaining gratitude for your progress and fostering meaningful connections with those who bring positivity into your life. As Seneca wisely noted, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. In this context, those who cannot celebrate your success are often impoverished by their inability to embrace abundance and growth, both yours and their own. Surround yourself with people who are rich in spirit, those who find joy in your victories and inspire you to keep striving for excellence. By doing so, you protect your peace, nurture your self-esteem, and live in alignment with the timeless principles of modern Stoicism. Number 6. Exaggerated flattery. Exaggerated flattery can be a subtle yet powerful tool of manipulation, often wielded by those with hidden motives. At first glance, it feels uplifting, someone showering you with grandiose compliments, making you feel admired and valued. But pause and reflect. Is their praise genuinely about you, or is it a calculated strategy to gain your trust? Frequently, these overly enthusiastic compliments are less about acknowledging your achievements and more about positioning themselves to benefit from you. For instance, someone might go out of their way to praise your work excessively when they want a favor or your assistance, only for their adulation to vanish or shift tone once their needs are met. Over time, you may start noticing a pattern. Their words don't match their actions, and their flattery feels increasingly inconsistent, tied more to their agenda than to any authentic appreciation for who you are. This behavior creates a false sense of connection, exploiting your openness and vulnerability while obscuring their true intentions. Such manipulation doesn't just damage trust, it can erode your confidence in discerning genuine relationships from opportunistic ones. Let's consider a real-world example to illustrate this dynamic. Emily, a highly skilled and innovative designer, worked with a new colleague, Mark, who seemed overly complimentary right from the start. Mark frequently described Emily as the creative force of the team, and even went so far as to call her work revolutionary. Naturally, Emily felt flattered by this recognition, which encouraged her to share more of her ideas and even some unfinished concepts with him. However, it wasn't long before Emily noticed something troubling. Mark began using her ideas in team meetings, passing them off as his own without acknowledging her contributions. The excessive praise had been a tactic to gain her trust, distracting her from Mark's true goal, advancing his career by leveraging her creativity. Realizing this, Emily pulled back, stopped sharing her ideas with him, and began to trust her instincts more. From that point forward, she learned to recognize the difference between authentic encouragement and flattery designed to manipulate. So how can you safeguard yourself against exaggerated flattery? It begins with grounding yourself in your sense of self-worth. When you truly know and appreciate your value, you won't rely on external validation to feel confident. Compliments can be accepted with grace, but they should be viewed critically. Ask yourself whether the words are consistent and sincere or inflated and opportunistic. Does the person offering praise consistently support you, or does their admiration appear only when it serves their own goals? True admiration is steady, honest, and rooted in genuine respect. It doesn't need to be over the top to feel meaningful, nor does it come with strings attached. When flattery seems excessive or out of place, take a moment to assess the situation. Look for patterns of behavior that either reinforce sincerity or reveal manipulation. This is where Stoicism offers valuable guidance. Among the greatest Stoic secrets is the ability to maintain control over your emotions and judgments, even in the face of praise. The Stoics remind us to focus on what truly matters: our character, actions, and integrity, rather than being swayed by the opinions or words of others. When someone's flattery seems overblown, ask yourself, are you being distracted by their words, or are you staying true to your purpose? Imagine how much more clarity you'd gain if you stopped letting external praise dictate your decisions. By anchoring yourself in your values and priorities, you can distinguish between those who genuinely support you and those who seek to use you for their own benefit. Exaggerated flattery tests your ability to remain self-aware and discerning. It challenges you to prioritize authentic relationships over superficial praise, to value substance over style. Remember, genuine admiration doesn't require grandiose declarations. It's quiet, consistent, and free of hidden agendas. Trust yourself and your ability to recognize when praise is real and when it's being used as a tool for manipulation. By keeping your focus on what truly matters, your goals, integrity, and growth, you ensure that no amount of exaggerated flattery can derail your journey. Your worth is not defined by the volume of praise you receive, but by the strength of your character and the authenticity of your actions. Stay vigilant, stay true to yourself, and let your values be the compass that guides you forward. What do you think is the most damaging form of envy or falsehood in relationships? Is it backhanded compliments, lack of enthusiasm, or exaggerated flattery? Comment 1 for backhanded compliments, 2, for lack of enthusiasm, or 3, for exaggerated flattery. And don't forget to stick around until the end of the video. I've got 3 more surprising insights that will give you even more tools to recognize and handle these challenges in your life. You won't want to miss it. Number 7. The disappearing act. The disappearing act is a subtle yet revealing sign of falsehood and envy that manifests in relationships. It occurs when someone is eager to stand by you during your struggles, offering a false sense of camaraderie, but suddenly vanishes when you achieve success. This pattern often uncovers deep-seated insecurity or jealousy, as their absence during your victories highlights their inability to celebrate your achievements. Their behavior stems from their own fears and inadequacies. Your success becomes a mirror reflecting what they perceive as their own failures, and rather than facing these emotions, they retreat. Such individuals may feel comfortable when you are at your lowest because it allows them to feel superior or needed, but as soon as you begin to shine, they find your growth and achievements too difficult to bear. This is not the support of a true friend, but a reflection of conditional loyalty that thrives only when it aligns with their comfort zone. What's more, this disappearing act often serves as an indication that these people are invested in your journey for selfish reasons. When you struggle, they may feel validated or find satisfaction in being the helper, but when you succeed, it disrupts the balance of the relationship, leaving them feeling inadequate or irrelevant. This behavior also reveals a lack of genuine interest in your well-being, as their engagement is conditional upon your circumstances aligning with their needs. While they may present themselves as allies, their sudden absence during your triumphs speaks volumes about their true intentions. Their envy prevents them from celebrating your wins because doing so forces them to confront their own perceived shortcomings. In essence, they are more invested in how your journey makes them feel rather than in you as a person. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely observed, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Similarly, true friendship is marked by steadfast loyalty and support, regardless of the ebbs and flows of life. When you encounter the disappearing act, let it serve as a reminder to evaluate the authenticity of your relationships. Those who fade away during your moments of success are not aligned with your growth, and clinging to them only drains your energy. Instead, focus on cultivating connections with individuals who remain by your side through both challenges and triumphs, offering unwavering support no matter the circumstance. These are the people who genuinely celebrate your victories and stand by you in difficult times, embodying the essence of a meaningful and supportive relationship. In modern life, where relationships are increasingly shaped by social media and surface-level interactions, the disappearing act is more apparent than ever. Social platforms often amplify the phenomenon, with individuals showing sympathy during public struggles but vanishing when your posts reflect success or happiness. This behavior highlights the importance of modern Stoicism, which teaches us to find stability within ourselves rather than relying on external validation. Modern Stoicism encourages us to discern genuine relationships from those driven by envy or convenience, and reminds us to prioritize inner peace over the fleeting approval of others. To address the disappearing act, focus on building a strong foundation of self-worth that isn't shaken by the ebb and flow of external support. Recognize that the people who disappear during your successes are often projecting their own insecurities and fears onto you. Their behavior says more about their struggles than about your worth. Use this realization as an opportunity to let go of superficial connections and invest in relationships that are built on mutual respect, shared values, and true loyalty. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." With this perspective, you can focus on surrounding yourself with those who uplift you, celebrate your victories, and stand firm through every chapter of your life. By doing so, you'll cultivate an environment of authenticity and support, allowing you to thrive without being burdened by the envy or falsehood of others. Number 8. Gossip. Gossip is one of the most destructive manifestations of envy and falsehood, a behavior that corrodes trust and damages relationships. Those who engage in gossip often do so to tarnish your reputation and sow seeds of doubt in others' minds. By spreading rumors and falsehoods, they aim to make people question your character and intentions, shifting the focus away from their own insecurities. Gossip is a tool used by those who feel inadequate, as tearing others down becomes their way of compensating for personal dissatisfaction. It is often rooted in envy, reflecting their discomfort with your success or contentment. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." People who gossip fail to embrace this mindset, focusing instead on negativity and comparison. The insidious nature of gossip lies in its rapid spread and the trust it destroys. Gossipers often misuse confidences, twisting personal details to fit their own narrative or serve a hidden agenda. This behavior not only harms the person being discussed, but also erodes the integrity of the gossiper. They may appear friendly, but their actions speak louder than their words. If someone eagerly gossips about others to you, it's a clear warning that they are likely to do the same about you when you're not around. Gossip creates a toxic environment, fostering tension and conflict that isolates people and damages connections. Over time, it can fracture relationships, as the shadow of distrust lingers among those affected. In today's modern world, fueled by digital communication and social media, gossip has taken on an even more pervasive and damaging role. Falsehoods and rumors can spread with alarming speed, magnifying their impact and making it harder to repair the harm caused. Modern Stoicism teaches us to rise above such petty behavior and focus on our own character and actions, regardless of what others say. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When faced with gossip, the key is to maintain your composure and dignity. Engaging in retaliation or joining the cycle of gossip will only entangle you further in negativity, dragging you away from the values of integrity and self-respect. The best way to address gossip is to let the truth shine through your actions. Stay consistent in your words and behavior, and trust that those who truly matter will see your authenticity. By choosing not to retaliate, you show strength and confidence, qualities that expose the shallowness of gossip for what it is. Avoid fueling the fire by giving gossipers the attention they seek. Instead, focus on building genuine, supportive relationships with those who value integrity. Modern Stoicism reminds us to direct our energy toward things within our control, such as our reactions and choices, rather than wasting it on external judgments that hold no true power over us. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Those who gossip are often poor in spirit, craving attention and validation in ways that reveal their own struggles. How you handle gossip says far more about you than the rumors themselves. By remaining dignified, refusing to engage in the cycle, and staying true to your principles, you not only protect your peace but also set an example for others to follow. Your integrity will outshine any falsehoods, proving that truth and authenticity always prevail over envy and deceit. This approach aligns with the wisdom of modern Stoicism, which calls us to lead with virtue, reject trivial distractions, and focus on what truly matters in the grand scheme of life. Number 9. Inconsistent stories. Inconsistent stories are one of the most telling signs that someone may not be truthful, and recognizing these discrepancies is a powerful tool for protecting yourself from deception. When someone frequently changes the details of their narrative or avoids providing specifics, it's often because they're hiding something. Think about it. Have you ever listened to someone tell a story that felt off? Perhaps one version didn't quite match another, or their explanations seemed conveniently vague. People who are dishonest often hope you won't notice these inconsistencies, relying on your trust to gloss over the gaps in their story. Sometimes they stall by offering roundabout answers, evading direct questions, or over-explaining in an effort to sound more convincing. However, dishonesty tends to unravel under scrutiny because inconsistent words and actions always reveal the truth over time. For instance, if someone claims they're committed to a goal but their behavior suggests otherwise, it's a clear sign of misalignment. Similarly, if their stories lack coherence or logical flow, it's another red flag that they may be manipulating the truth to conceal their real intentions. Let me share a modern example. Imagine Jacob, a young professional in a competitive sales job. He often talked about how he was leading the team in performance, but his numbers never seemed to add up during weekly meetings. When questioned, he'd give vague excuses like, "The data's not updated yet," or "The system had an error." His stories about client meetings would also shift. One day he'd say he closed a big deal. The next he'd claim it fell through because the client changed their mind. Over time, his colleagues began to notice the gaps in his accounts, and their trust in him eroded. The inconsistencies in Jacob's words and actions revealed that he wasn't being truthful, ultimately damaging not only his credibility, but also his relationships with the team. This example reminds us how important it is to pay attention to the details, especially when someone's words don't align with their behavior. So how do you spot these inconsistencies and protect yourself from deception? Start by listening carefully and trusting your instincts. If something doesn't add up, don't ignore it. Probe a little deeper. Ask open-ended questions to see if the story holds together, and watch for stalling tactics or vague responses. Does the person's behavior align with their claims? Are their actions consistent with their promises? Honesty has a certain clarity and simplicity, while dishonesty often hides behind confusion and contradiction. When you encounter these inconsistencies, take a step back and reassess the situation. Surround yourself with people whose words and actions are aligned and who communicate openly and transparently. This is where Stoicism offers timeless wisdom. One of the most important Stoic secrets is learning to rely on reason and observation rather than being swayed by appearances or emotions. Stoics remind us to remain calm and grounded when faced with dishonesty, trusting our ability to discern the truth. Ask yourself, are you basing your trust on evidence or on hope? Are you overlooking inconsistencies because you want to believe someone, or are you staying objective? By practicing self-awareness and focusing on facts, you can navigate through deceit without becoming entangled in it. Inconsistent stories are a test of your ability to see through the fog of falsehoods. They challenge you to value transparency and align yourself with people who are honest and reliable. Remember, actions speak louder than words, and clarity is the hallmark of genuine intent. By staying vigilant, trusting your instincts, and using reason as your guide, you can protect yourself from those who try to manipulate the truth and build stronger, more authentic relationships. Keep your focus on integrity and surround yourself with those who live by it, and you'll find it much easier to recognize and avoid the traps of inconsistency and deceit. Have you ever experienced the disappearing act in your relationships where people vanish when you succeed? Or maybe you've been caught in the web of gossip, inconsistency, or exaggerated flattery? Which of these do you think is the most dangerous? Comment 1 for the disappearing act, 2 for gossip, or 3 for exaggerated flattery. Be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video, because the last 3 insights will surprise you and provide even more ways to protect yourself from envy and falsehood. Trust me, you won't want to miss them. Number 10. Body language. Body language, the silent language of the body, is one of the most revealing indicators of a person's true emotions and intentions, often exposing what their words seek to conceal. While someone may deliver kind words or reassuring phrases, their nonverbal cues can contradict these statements, providing a clearer glimpse into their inner state. For example, a forced smile, one that stops short of reaching their eyes, often signals insincerity or discomfort, serving as a veil for emotions they'd rather not reveal. Similarly, avoiding eye contact is a classic indicator of hidden guilt or dishonesty, as the inability to meet your gaze suggests unease or evasion. Defensive postures, such as crossed arms or a rigid stance, can signal resistance, discomfort, or even subtle hostility, while habitual fidgeting, like tapping fingers, adjusting clothing, or playing with hair, may indicate nervousness or an attempt to distract from the truth. Sometimes even unconscious behaviors like clenched fists, shallow breathing, or tension in their shoulders can hint at suppressed frustration or anxiety, offering valuable insights into their emotional state. The brilliance of body language lies in its authenticity. It is challenging to control every physical cue when emotions run high or when deceit is at play. As the famed Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius observed, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. This wisdom reminds us that inner emotions inevitably reflect outwardly, and careful observation of nonverbal communication allows us to perceive what words may fail to convey. For instance, a person who hesitates in speech or stumbles over their words may be masking discomfort, doubt, or dishonesty, and shifts in vocal tone can betray emotions ranging from frustration to reluctance. These small, often overlooked details reveal a depth of understanding that transcends spoken language. In modern life, especially in an era dominated by screens and digital communication, the value of observing body language in face-to-face interactions becomes even more significant. With so much emphasis placed on words, text messages, emails, and carefully curated social media captions, body language offers a raw, unfiltered glimpse into someone's genuine feelings. Modern Stoicism, a philosophy that champions rational observation and inner tranquility, encourages us to interpret such cues with a balanced mind. Rather than jumping to conclusions or reacting emotionally to someone's nonverbal signals, modern Stoicism advises us to calmly analyze the full context of their behavior, combining their words, actions, and physical expressions to form a clearer picture of their intentions. Understanding body language not only helps us recognize envy and falsehood in others, but also empowers us to navigate relationships with greater awareness. When you notice contradictions between someone's words and their actions, trust your instincts and allow these observations to inform your decisions without overreacting. For instance, if a colleague offers you praise but maintains a tense posture or avoids eye contact, consider the possibility that their words may lack sincerity. As the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." Similarly, use body language as a tool for truth-seeking, not for judgment. By refining your ability to read these silent signals, you can better protect yourself from dishonesty and forge more authentic connections with those who genuinely align with your values. In practical terms, developing the skill to read body language involves patience and a heightened sense of awareness. Pay attention to inconsistencies. Are their smiles genuine, their tone steady, and their gestures relaxed? Or do you notice tension, hesitation, and nervous fidgeting? These observations are particularly valuable in building trust and discerning motives in both personal and professional relationships. In today's fast-paced world, where interactions are often fleeting and driven by convenience, the ability to tune into the subtleties of body language grants you a distinct advantage. It allows you to decipher the unsaid, understand the true emotions of those around you, and ensure your energy is invested in relationships that are honest and meaningful. Let the principles of modern Stoicism guide you to interpret these cues without bias or assumption, and in doing so, maintain your inner peace while navigating the complexities of human interaction. Number 11. Silence instead of celebration. The silence of others in the face of your achievements can often be more telling than any words. When people fail to acknowledge or celebrate your successes, it's not simply a passive response. It can reveal deeper feelings of jealousy, insecurity, or even resentment. This silence is a subtle yet powerful indicator that some individuals may struggle to genuinely support your growth. Instead of sharing in your joy, they may deliberately avoid discussing your wins or steer the conversation in a different direction, leaving you feeling isolated and unappreciated. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." In this context, the silence of others reflects their internal struggles rather than any flaw in your accomplishments, urging you to remain steadfast in your integrity and self-worth. This behavior often stems from envy, as some people may fear being overshadowed by your success or feel uncomfortable with your progress, highlighting their own perceived shortcomings. Their silence can create emotional distance, subtly chipping away at the foundations of trust and connection in relationships. Over time, this lack of acknowledgement can affect your self-esteem, making you question whether your achievements are truly meaningful. In truth, their silence speaks more about them than it does about you. Those who are unable to celebrate your victories often reveal their own insecurities and an inability to find joy in the success of others. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." These individuals may crave validation or success themselves, making them unable to genuinely applaud your growth. In today's world, where social media amplifies the visibility of personal achievements, this behavior becomes even more apparent. You might notice some people who are conspicuously silent when you share your milestones, despite being quick to comment on others' posts or engage in less significant interactions. Modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our mindset, and our response to others, rather than allowing external validation, or the lack thereof, to dictate our sense of fulfillment. By staying grounded in your own values, you can resist the emotional toll of such silence and continue to celebrate your progress with confidence. To navigate this situation, surround yourself with people who genuinely share in your joy and successes. Seek out those who uplift and inspire you, who make you feel valued, and who see your victories as something to celebrate rather than as a threat. When you focus on meaningful connections, you cultivate an environment where mutual growth and happiness thrive. Avoid placing too much weight on the reactions, or lack thereof, of those who cannot celebrate with you. As Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions but in having few wants. Your achievements are valuable not because others acknowledge them, but because they reflect your dedication, hard work, and growth. Instead of dwelling on the silence of others, channel your energy into celebrating your wins with those who truly matter. Share your milestones with friends, family, or colleagues who genuinely appreciate your efforts, and allow their support to strengthen your resolve. Remember that your worth is not tied to the applause of others but is rooted in your commitment to your own path. Modern Stoicism reminds us to embrace the journey of self-improvement with gratitude and grace, focusing on the progress we make rather than the reactions we receive. Ultimately, the silence of others cannot diminish the value of your accomplishments unless you allow it to. Celebrate yourself, and let your success speak louder than their silence ever could. Number 12. Subtle undermining. Subtle undermining is one of the most insidious forms of manipulation, designed to chip away at your confidence and disrupt your sense of self without being overtly confrontational. It often comes cloaked in casual remarks or seemingly harmless behavior, making it difficult to spot at first. Phrases like, "Are you sure you're ready for this?" or "Maybe you should lower your expectations" may sound like genuine concern, but they are often calculated to create doubt. These comments can feel like minor annoyances in the moment, but over time, their cumulative effect can be deeply damaging, planting seeds of uncertainty that make you second-guess your decisions, skills, and even your purpose. People who engage in this behavior might also stir up conflict in group settings, undermining harmony and sowing division, all while presenting themselves as neutral or even supportive. Their goal is not only to weaken your resolve but also to subtly position themselves as superior or indispensable. Recognizing these tactics is the first step in protecting yourself from their impact. To illustrate this, let's look at a modern example. Mia, a rising star in her company, was excited about a big project she had been entrusted with. Her colleague, Daniel, often framed himself as a mentor, offering advice that on the surface appeared well-meaning. He would say things like, "That's an ambitious idea. Don't you think it might be too much for now?" Or, You've got great potential, but maybe this project isn't the right one to showcase it. At first, Mia appreciated his input, but she started noticing a pattern. Every time she felt confident, Daniel's comments left her doubting herself. He wasn't outright critical. His words were wrapped in a tone of care, making it harder for Mia to recognize the undermining. Over time, she realized that his advice never pushed her forward. It only pulled her back. Once she identified his behavior for what it was, she stopped seeking his input and began relying on her own instincts and the feedback of trusted allies. Her confidence returned, and she went on to lead the project successfully, proving that his doubts were baseless. So how can you guard yourself against subtle undermining? First, stay mindful of how others' words make you feel. Do their comments leave you feeling stronger and more capable, or do they linger like a shadow, creating unnecessary doubt? Trust your instincts. If a remark feels off, it probably is. Pay attention to patterns. Consistent negativity, even when disguised as friendly advice, is a red flag. Strengthen your confidence by focusing on your track record of successes and your unique abilities. One of the most empowering Stoic secrets is the ability to detach from external validation and focus on what you know to be true about yourself. The Stoics teach us to remain centered and unshaken, especially in the face of attempts to destabilize us. By anchoring yourself in your own values and strengths, you can filter out comments that do not serve your growth. Ask yourself, what might you accomplish if you stopped giving weight to the opinions of those who subtly undermine you? How much further could you go if you trusted your intuition and focused on your goals without letting outside doubt cloud your vision? Remember, subtle undermining often reflects the insecurities of the person making the remarks, not your own capabilities. By staying vigilant and recognizing these behaviors, you take away their power. Surround yourself with people who genuinely uplift you, and don't let the whispers of doubt derail your journey. Your path is your own, and your confidence is one of your greatest assets. Guard it fiercely. By trusting yourself, embracing your strengths, and refusing to let underminers sway you, you can achieve your goals with clarity and purpose, unshaken by those who aim to hold you back. As we wrap up this video, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed body language or subtle behaviors in others that gave you a deeper understanding of their true intentions? Comment yes or comment 1 if you've experienced this and want to dive deeper into these insights. And don't forget to stick around until the end of the video. There's one last piece of advice that will really surprise you and add a powerful tool to your life toolkit. Number 13. Hidden agendas. Hidden agendas can be among the most insidious and dangerous forms of deception, often masked behind a facade of kindness, friendliness, or concern. Those who operate with hidden agendas are often skilled at presenting themselves as helpful and supportive, but their true motivations are rooted in personal gain rather than genuine care for your well-being. They offer assistance or guidance, but their support is not unconditional. It comes with an unspoken expectation of something in return. This type of behavior can be especially difficult to detect because it cloaks itself in generosity, making it easy to trust them, only to find that their intentions are not what they seemed. The real danger lies in the realization that their actions were always aimed at extracting value from you, rather than building a genuine, mutually beneficial relationship. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once stated, "No man is free who is not master of himself," reminding us that we must be aware and discerning, not just of the surface level of interactions, but of the deeper motives behind them. People with hidden agendas often practice conditional support. They will help you, but only as long as it serves their interests. This type of relationship can leave you feeling used and emotionally drained, as it relies on your vulnerability for their personal gain. When their objectives are achieved, they frequently disappear, leaving you feeling betrayed and questioning the authenticity of past interactions. What begins as a gesture of goodwill may end with feelings of abandonment when their needs no longer align with yours. Their support is always contingent, and once it no longer benefits them, they withdraw, leaving you isolated and vulnerable. In the worst cases, they may even use your personal information or trust as a tool for manipulation, pushing you to serve their objectives under the guise of friendly advice or concern. Recognizing hidden agendas is crucial for protecting your emotional well-being and maintaining healthy relationships. In modern life, where personal and professional connections can often be transactional, it's essential to approach interactions with caution, especially when someone offers help that seems too good to be true. The wise words of Epictetus, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions but in having few wants," suggest that fulfillment and contentment come not from what we receive from others, but from being at peace with our own choices and needs. This philosophy emphasizes the importance of recognizing when others are offering help with ulterior motives and refusing to rely on them for validation or support. When you remain true to your own principles, you will naturally attract relationships based on honesty and mutual respect, rather than exploitation. The best way to navigate individuals with hidden agendas is to remain cautious about what personal information you share and with whom you share it. Be mindful of the relationships you build, ensuring they are grounded in genuine care rather than hidden motives. Trust should be earned through consistent actions, not just through words or promises. One of the key tenets of modern Stoicism is understanding that your inner peace and security must not depend on the approval or validation of others, particularly when their motives are uncertain. Build relationships with people who have nothing to gain from your success, those who offer help because they believe in you, not because they stand to profit from it. Protect yourself from the emotional drain of manipulative relationships by choosing to invest your energy in those who demonstrate unconditional support and trustworthiness. As Marcus Aurelius put it, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice," reminding us that by cultivating integrity and inner strength, we naturally repel deceitful individuals and attract authentic relationships. In the end, people with hidden agendas can often mask their true intentions for longer periods, but with mindfulness and awareness, you can safeguard yourself from being exploited. By focusing on authenticity, cultivating genuine connections, and practicing the principles of modern Stoicism, you empower yourself to navigate the complexities of human interaction without falling prey to deceitful behavior. Recognize that your worth and success are not tied to what others can extract from you, but rather to your ability to maintain integrity, set boundaries, and nurture meaningful reciprocal relationships. Trust yourself to see through hidden agendas and stay committed to the path of honesty and virtue that modern Stoicism encourages. As we wrap up today's video, I encourage you to take these principles and apply them to your daily life. Recognizing envy and falsehood isn't just about understanding others. It's about empowering yourself to rise above negativity and stay focused on your personal growth. By embracing your inner strength, protecting your energy, and staying true to your values, you can build a life filled with purpose and authenticity. Surround yourself with those who uplift and support you, and always remember that your worth is not determined by others' insecurities. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How do you deal with envy and falsehood in your own life? Drop a comment below, share your thoughts, and don't forget to share this video with someone who might benefit. Keep soaring higher because the best view is always reserved for those who rise above. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep living stoic with Stoic in your life.